Okie dokie. Okay. So we got some people getting on after the activity call. Andy was in rare form today. He's all jacked up. He gets into that mode when he's, when he gets in the real intense mode, when he needs people, to figure themselves out. Okay. Some people think he's just trying to make money off motivating. Really, he's trying to help you figure yourself out so you can get moving forward. I mean, he's got plenty of money. Trust me. He's got so much money. He's got a war chest too. I mean, he's been a radical saver since the beginning of the business, and investing. But he likes to keep his war chest, and so he only started spending money on cars. Let's see, we've been in this 20 years. Probably about 7 years ago. Really, 7 years ago is when he started spending money on himself and Jane. Like he didn't have like a fancy car. The first car he bought was, I believe, the Ferrari. But again, that was like 7 years ago. But that was after he bought his King Air. So he bought a King Air jet to go around in his first plane. So I mean, talk about delayed gratification. Andy Albright is the epitome of delayed gratification, man. The first 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, yeah, he didn't do nothing, man. He just stored everything up. And then he started, so it's been fairly recent relative to how long we've been in the business. So I kind of look at someone like that, like, wow. I mean, talk about delayed gratification. It's something that we call you build your house, right? Or you build your business before you build your house. And he built his business, man. He got it on rock solid ground. And you might think it's the infrastructure he put together and the lead generation facility. Now, his rock solid ground was the people that he's built relationships with. So when he felt the foundation of the people on his team, he felt solid with them and with things that were being produced, with the results. Then, that's when he started going a little crazy. But, look, I mean, rightfully so, anyway. Oh, got to get my tea in, man. Got to get that caffeine. All right, well, thanks for joining me. We got 11 people on here and some more people coming on. That was a lot of fun last night, doing that hotspot meeting webinar for the West Coast, for the Long Beach meeting and the San Diego meeting. I got a bunch of great comments, and I really appreciate the opportunity to do that. I think it turned out way better than when I did that talk the first time on the boot camp call. I added some extra stuff in there, so that's why I went an hour and a half versus the hour that I took when I did it for the ABTF, or was it 45 minutes? There's 45 minutes. So I got to flesh it out more, which I felt better about fleshing it out. So hopefully I'll get the recording, and for those of you that weren't able to make it out, maybe you'll be able to see that, because I felt really good about it. And for those of you that were on it, I guess you got a chance to see it live. So anyway, so Andy's been big, if you hear lately, big on the why, big on getting you to understand the why, the how, and the what, that teeter-totter thing on the pyramid. That's definitely all Jeff Bright stuff, which is really, really cool. We've come to the conclusion that if you don't know why you're doing anything, then why do anything? The why is really the engine that fuels your motivation to do what you need to do here. The stuff you need to do here is, hard. It's hard. It's hard. because if it were easy, then everyone can do it. But it's hard. And what do I mean by hard? The physical work isn't hard. Like picking up the phone, dialing 10 numbers, and get someone on the phone is not a hard thing to do. I mean, filtering out leads, it's not a hard thing to do. In fact, it simply is this. I mean, think about it. Let me grab a stack of leads here. I had one of my guys, he happened to be in the area, so we gave him a bunch of bonus leads to dial through. These are old. Every time I get old leads in my hands, I'm tempted to dial them, see what happens. Okay, but here's a stack. And so if I said Dan Mace, what I want you to do is I want you to go through this stack, and I want you to separate them, the people whose names begin with a letter after the letter M. So M and M through Z, I want you to put them in one pile, then everyone else in another pile. So basically all you would do is like, okay, Steve, this pile, Sean, this pile, Betty, this pile, George. Oh, I know who this is. Wow. This pile. Royce. Be this pile. Timothy. Do you see? John. Be this pile. Johnny would be this pile. Keisha would be this pile. Lynn. Okay, do you see what I'm doing? Okay, I'm filtering. I'm filtering leads. Okay. Do you know that that's how hard our business is filtering leads? Filtering the people. Thomas. Lynn. I'm showing you how hard dialing is. Frederick. Otis. I'm doing the ABC song in my head. LMNOP, Paul. LMNOP. Okay, Paul's over here. So you got Karen, Jerry, JKLM, Jeanette, Lavelle, Shirley, James, Deborah, Jeffrey, Connie. Okay. So I booked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 appointments. Right? Isn't that's how hard a business is. It's really, I just showed you how hard a business, because if I booked you an appointment, would you go run it, right? Would you run an appointment that someone booked for you? Well, of course you go out there and run it. Okay, they may be there, they may not be. Okay, so I just showed you how hard our business is. That's how hard our business is. Okay, really, was that hard? I don't know, man. Hard is in the eye of the beholder, I guess, all perspective. But when you go to the band app, okay, and you look at Brant Swindell, and you see the numbers. So, okay, Angie Ardenio, he did this more recruiting. Just saw it. Oh, Brant. So far, 114 dials, 26 contacts, 20 appointments, and his goal is 30 appointments. Okay, so he dials on Thursdays and Fridays for Saturday and Sunday. Okay. Well, so I know I saw some other activity numbers. Brenda Smith, 103 dials, 25 contacts, 4 appointments. Okay. 1 cancellation, 2 no-shows, 1 out for 15-15-84. Persistence pays off. Okay, maybe not as good as Brant, but she's out there. She's making dials. She's booking appointments, right? Good on you, Brenda. Let's see if I can find any more activity numbers here. Okay, so what is my point? What is my point? My point is, this is what we do to make a lot of money. You know, whether it's 25,000 a year or 500,000 a year, we got people doing that, doing just what I showed you, filtering out leads, filtering out the people that don't love their families or people that don't answer the phone, and filtering in people that love their families who want to take care of them. That's what we do. We filter. The business is a huge filter. In recruiting, the business is a huge filter. You heard my recruiting video. What did I do? I filtered out people that were cool and filtered in people that were really cool that I liked. I think I liked all of them, actually. You know, we'll see what happens. Actually, one of those immediately, we signed him up. We signed two of those up right away, and then I'm waiting back to hear from another one. And one of them's coming to our Cincinnati Hotspot meeting Monday night. Is that cool? So, and you probably can tell the way I was talking to him, you know, that the vibe was really good, you know, but so how hard was that? So I say it's hard only because some people think it's hard. So I'm acknowledging that you might think it's hard, okay? But that's why we make a lot of money, you know, because people have fear, okay? And that's why they don't filter out the leads. Like, the leads need to be filtered. You need to filter them. The more that you attempt to filter, the more people you're going to filter in, the more appointments you're going to book, and the more money you're going to make. I mean, really, it's a very simple concept, but I know that some of you have this block of breaking through that veil of fear of dialing the phone. So my job is to help you overcome that fear, which is just what I did right there. I think when you look at what I just did, you should have like this light bulb go off. It's like, wow, you're right. That's all it is. It's just separating. You're separating. You gotta be the greatest separator. And then once you separate them into appointments, and then you separate, when you go on appointments, who's going to show up. And when you separate the people that don't show up versus the people that do show up, which should be about 75%, then when you go into the home, you're separating out the people that love their families, want to take care of them today, versus people that have some excuse that they don't want to take care of their families today. And so that should be about 50 to 70%, 75%. So then when you're sitting down, you're filtering them out, right? And then the next filter is that when you submit the application, you probably have 25% of them that get declined, or the client calls back, they don't want to do it. But you should get about 75% of those those will get issued. And then when they get issued, how many will stay on the books after 13 months? Probably about 75, 80%. Okay, so again, another filter. Everything's a filter. That's all we do. It's like a gold miner, you know, sticking their gold pan in that river and then, you know, panning for gold, looking for gold. Like, they're not doing anything different than we're doing. We're panning for gold, okay, through several different filter processes. It's a sieve. The whole line system is a sieve, whether it's recruiting or building. That makes sense? I mean, I want to kind of frame it properly for you so you understand the real simplicity of it. And then you just do it over and over again. The guys that made money in the gold rush, during the gold rush, were the guys that were in that river, man. And they were in that river as soon as dawn broke to when the sun set, okay? And I bet you the guys that are consistent, you know, when the sun went up all the way to the sun went down, were the ones that made more money than the guy that just kind of kept going here. It's like, oh, this place isn't working, going over here. And by the time you counted how much they were actually panning for gold, it was like 1/10 of the time that the person was diligent, consistent, right? Like, I was not there, but I bet you that's how it worked. Okay. You know, it's like, I think about Jerry Rice. Okay, the 49ers are playing the Super Bowl. 49ers have been my team. Okay, one of my teams, Oakland Raiders and the 49ers, because I grew up in the Bay Area. I mean, I'm talking John Brody and Gene Washington. So how many of you old farts out there remember John Brody and Gene Washington? Okay. You know, I traced my fandom back then. Okay. Oakland Raiders is Kenny Stabler, Fred Biletnikoff, Cliff Branch, Jack Tatum. Okay. So the point is, we know how to do this. We've been doing it, right? So what does this have to do for building? Okay, I'm setting you up, man. I'm just totally setting you up so you can get your mind right on what I'm going to talk about here. By the way, how many of y'all have your, I have an original. This is an original, one of the first 200 coins that were ever minted. Okay. This is one of the original. Okay. And this is different because there's no, what is it, epoxy? There's not an epoxy resin on it. So it's got all the ridges and everything. This is the original given out to all the agency managers. The one that y'all got this weekend is different. It's, you know, the second minting. So this one's highly valuable. In fact, I lost it. I was wondering where it's been gone. And then Ginny looked in her purse and she found it. Thank God. I don't know why I gave it to her, but it was one per agency managership. And so, okay, so this is an original. So how many of y'all got yours? So Lori says she has hers. It's a great reminder. Then how many of y'all got your HMA Visa card? Yeah, I got to do that. HMA Visa card. How many of y'all got that? And how many of y'all got your, do you hear that noise? This is the President's Club Black Card. President's Club Black Card. I got this. Honestly, don't know what it means. Does anyone have any idea having this metal black card? I don't know if I pay more for this, or does everyone in President's Club get this? But this is just really cool. It's like hard. Like you can kill someone with this if you kind of throw it at them. You know, this is sort of like Andy says, you know, show people these when you're at a hotspot meeting. Anyway, okay, so I just thought I'd bring mine out and wonder if y'all have yours. All right, you have a coin, Tanya, good stuff. I have a new coin too. I decided to buy the second minting of the coin. Maybe I'll keep a whole series. You know, by the time, you know, I leave this earth, I'll have a whole, you know, stack of them. Okay, so I've established that this is a filter business. It's the easiest thing we do. Filtering through a bunch of people, right? Whether it's leads or whether it's in recruiting, the people that will end up being the ones that we find gold with, the ones that will pay us money by serving, etc. Okay, selling over 20,000. Huh? Really? I've done 20,000 a month a long time ago, for sure. Okay, so here's why I bring that up. Okay, getting back to the building part. So agency manager should be your first target because this is where you get, you know, anyone passes you at 85, you get the glow bonus on them. Okay, so you need one organization, two organizations, three organizations, four organizations. This one doing 25,000 issue paid, 15,000 issue paid, 7,500 issue paid, and $1 issue paid. Okay. And that's agency manager, right? So we can look at this as how many people or, you know, but it's really just volume, 25,000 issue paid volume, right? So what does that mean? So let's look at it differently. And, you know, something that you've probably heard this concept before, but this, I've not really looked at this way, all right? Patrick Connors and I were having a conversation earlier this morning on, you know, what's an important metric to look at in terms of what your organization's doing And, you know, really good metric is how many appointments are being booked in each leg, really. And you've heard this, Andy, talk about this. And I've never kind of looked at it that way. I've just, you know, watched the raw volume. I know how many unique writing agents should produce this volume. So I kind of looked at how many unique writing agents, the numbers of people. But I never broke it down by appointments. So let's break down the numbers because I want you to kind of get a feel for the numbers. And let's do some math, okay? So the average home, okay, the average home closed, just in our numbers, issue paid is about $1,000, okay? So when you close one home, let's multiply just the raw numbers by placement rate. 75% of what you turn will get placed. So right away, that's $750, okay? And then $750 issue paid. Okay. So as far as that goes, so this is what you're going to get promotion credit on. So you close a home, 75% of what you submit will get issue paid. So $750 is your promotion credit. Okay. So what do you got to do to get one home closed? Well, if you got a 55% closing rate, to close one, you basically have to go on 2 appointments, okay, to close one. You have to actually sit. You have to sit 2 appointments, okay? And so let's say you have to book 3. Book 3 to sit on 2 to close 1, okay? So you guys know the 3-2-1. It's really 3-2-1. To get one home closed to get $750 in promotion credit. Because we're not talking what you actually get paid on, because I'm not talking about the ARC, right? The ARC factors and all that stuff does not apply to promotion credit. Promotion credit is promotion credit. You know, it's not after the ARC factor and your commission rate and blah, 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 blah. This is the simplicity of it. You book 3, you sit 2, you close 1, okay? $750 promotion credit. So let's do the math. So how many of these homes close? So, okay, so it's 3-2-1. Okay, 3-2-1. Okay, so you divide 25,000 for leg number 1, divided by 750. Okay. You need 33 homes closed, okay? So 3-2-1. So equals, so that translates to, so you double to go here to 2, so you need 66 appointments. Okay, this is in a month, right? So you need 33 homes closed, which means you have to sit on 66 appointments. This is mega conservative because you ought to get anywhere from 55 to 70% close rate. And then, so how many people you need booked? Well, you need, so, you know, 2 out of 3 is what percentage? I know 66.66%, right? 2 divided by 3 is 0.66. So divide 66 by 0.67. So you need 98 appointments booked. Okay, so this is that 3-2-1 factor, right? Which, what I could have done is like multiply 33 times 3. So let's just round it up to 99. You need 99 appointments booked. Okay, it's all factor algebra. It's all algebra. What you do on the left side, you do on the right side. Okay, so this leg here, every month, you need 99 appointments booked every month. Okay, 99 is the magic number for leg number 1. So what is it for leg number 2? So leg number 2, you do the same math. 15,000 divided by 750 equals 20 times 3 is 60. So here you need 60 appointments booked every month. And 7,500, okay, divided by 750 was 10. So that's 10 homes times 3 is 30. So you need 30 appointments booked in this leg. And then 1 is you need 3, right? 3 appointments booked, 3, 2, 1. Like that's 750, but you know, really, you book 3 appointments, you're going to get 1, right? So that's the math. Okay. Okay, so did I establish? Okay, now, by the way, because of the way it works, your personal number of appointments counts for leg 1. So everything you do, personal production-wise, appointments count here. So if you break it down by week, so let's just say a 4-week month, 99 divided by 4 weeks is 25 appointments a week being booked. $60 divided by 4 is 15 appointments a week. $7.5 per week. And then 3 appointments. This is just 1 per week. Okay, now notice what happened. Right? 25,000, 25 appointments a week. 15,000 is 15 appointments a week. 7,500 is 7.5 appointments a week. Okay? 7.5 appointments a week. Let's just say 8. But then $1 is 1 appointment a week, which really, anyway. Is that cool? So what we did was we worked the math backwards, and it's like that leg, if you want to issue paid, that equates to how many appointments per week. Okay? Now this could be one person. I mean, Alex, someone who books 25 appointments a week will probably get 25,000 issue paid. Right. That's what I'm saying, conservative. Like not even the best numbers, and probably even below average numbers. Actually, the 321 is really a little bit below the averages anyway. So it's very conservative, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay? So if you want to manage to appointments per week being booked in your agency, okay, this is how you look at it. How many appointments are being booked in that week will determine where your leg is. It's activity, okay? And even if they're not very, they're not very experienced agents to very experienced agents, it all kind of balances out, right? The super efficient, productive agents will balance out the brand new agents that aren't as productive yet. So, it kind of tilts to where it's about right. Does this make sense? This is kind of another way of looking at your business and measuring how many appointments are going on this week. Now, I would love for every single person in my agency to book 25, okay? But look, let's say you book 15 appointments a week, well, 20. Let's say you are, the insane minimum wage person, I should say. If you're doing 20 appointments a week yourself, then all you need is someone doing 5 appointments a week. So your first leg should be taken care of because you know, that should be done. And a lot of it should be done by you, okay? And you're making a lot of money, by the way. So this could be one person average, or if you found 2 people is about what? Let's say it's 8 appointments a week, okay? This could be one person averaging 8 appointments a week. And this is like half a person. This is like your brand new guy that just wrote an app on himself, you know, because they're being their own best customer. So this is one agent. Maybe this is one agent. Maybe this is 2, 3, 4. So literally, outside of you, you can have 4 people. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you plus 5 people can hit agency manager, getting people that, you know, if you get someone to book 8 appointments a week, you're rocking, right? And you get 2 in one leg because you're building depth. Does this make sense to you? How simple this is. And remember, all this is finding people that's willing to sort through. See, Shirley is over here. LMNOP. Paul's over here. LMNO. Otis is over here. Oh, yeah. These are all going to be, and then Dylan and Henrietta. That's all you're doing is finding people willing to sort through leads. Okay, and then when they're sitting down with people, they're saying, hey, we've got this program. You know that 7.5 billion has not been paid out to people that had life insurance policies legitimately. You know why that is? You're getting ERSs. Okay, so these 25 appointments a week. Okay, so does this make sense so far about appointments per week and how simple it is to kind of look at each leg in terms of activity level? So you as the manager, you as the upline, you as the leader of your financial future for your family, you're looking at bringing on each leg, each leg, each leg. The first 4 probably won't do it. You know, out of your first 12, you're probably going to find 1 or 2 good ones. Your next batch of 12, another 1 or 2. Okay, the next batch of 12, another 1 or 2. The next batch of 12, another 1 or 2. Right? So 4 batches of 12, you're going to find probably 4 legs as long as you're driving depth. You know, you're doing this. You're finding people who know people. Here's statistically, we did a study on the top 10 producing agents in the Alliance. This was like, 12, 13 years ago. We found that top 10 person came within 4 levels of depth. They were within these 4 levels. Is that crazy? That the top 10 were found 4 levels in depth. It could have been this person down at the bottom. It could be this second one. It could have been the first one. Well, typically, I won't say typically, it's not the first one. You will find, the first one, but they were mainly found in depth. Is that crazy? So what is your job? Your job is to put in a batch of 12, identify 1 or 2 good ones, get it 4 deep. Next batch of 12, find 1 or 2 good ones, get it 4 deep. Next batch of 12, find 1 or 2 good ones, get 4 deep. Your next batch, 4 deep. And then you're going to get a leg to include your personal production. This is why you can't do this without you producing, right? Is you're going to find your first leg because your appointments are counted in this first leg, and then the person you're finding, you're going to find these people. Okay, does that make sense? Right? So you understand that. Okay. So basically, the number of appointments per week equates to what that issued paid volume is going to be in that leg. See how that worked? See how we backed into that? Numbers, man. It's kind of that's how crazy this business is. I mean, everything kind of boils down to numbers and how that part works. All right, so, Okay, so how to get to how to get to minimum wage? 20 appointments per week, right? That's minimum wage. That's like your full-time job is 20 appointments a week, and your side hustle is the building. So how does one get to 20 appointments a week, especially if they're brand new, right? So, let's say you get a GMR, your first GMR, maybe it's 5 to 10 A leads a week, or some combination. Maybe it's 20, A1s, maybe it's 40 A2s, maybe it's 80 A3s, okay, whatever. Your first GMR that you're investing in, okay, let's say from this you're able to book 5 appointments a week, right? Okay, so you can kind of, if this person does this consistently, use the upline to say, hey, that's going to be about a $5,000 leg, right? Okay, now they might be new, maybe it won't be 5,000 exactly because they're brand new, but they've gotten on a GMR, they're getting a combination of leads, and they're getting consistently 5 appointments a week. That's rocking. But your job as the upline is to show them how they can get to 20 appointments a week. You can't just leave it up to them to figure it out. You need to guide them and say, okay, so now you've booked these appointments, you close one deal. Let's say they got one, and I'm being, again, conservative, one closed sale. Should be 2. Really ought to be 2, but let's say it's just 1. Again, I'm really being conservative, okay? So out of 1, that should be at least 10 ERSs, should be 20, okay? Like if you do it legitimately the way that we teach, like seriously say every word the way the words are supposed to be said, all right? You should get 20, okay? Out of 10 ERSs, you ought to book, out of 10 ERSs, seriously, you ought to be booking half of them at least. Lee Reyes is booking 90%. Okay, but let's say you're not as good. So you're going to book another 5 appointments, okay, per week. So every week you're doing 5, you're closing 1, you're getting 5 additional appointments. So what happened? Us all of a sudden went from 5 appointments a week to 10 appointments a week. Because 5 are ERS appointments. But Alex, I don't close all my ERS appointments. I know you don't. But out of 5 appointments, you ought to get 1 more application out of it. Okay? There ought to be 1 person, either it's an HMA or, again, I'm being very conservative. Like, people that are doing this consistently are getting a 40 to 60% close rate on their ERS appointments, right? So 1 out of 5 is not out of the question. Okay? But now you've got some additional commission money that you can invest in, commission money from here to invest in here. So now you got maybe you're running 10A leads, right? 10A leads, and then you're running a bunch of these other multi-leads. So maybe you're ordering 10 to 20 leads a week, 10A leads and 10 multi-leads. Now you're getting consistent at booking, 10 appointments off the leads, okay? Out of 10 appointments, you've gotten better, so now you're closing 3, you're making 3 sales, okay? It should be 4. Again, I'm just cutting it down, making it real simple. So now you're closing 3 appointments, that should be at least 30 ERSs, right? Out of 30, let's say you get good and you're starting to book half, so now you're booking 15 appointments on ERSs. So what did you just do? Went from 5 to a total of 10. Oh, and by that way, this one app produces, 10 more ERSs. Okay, so do you see how just in 2 generations, I just showed you how you went 25 appointments, not to mention some of these, which could be 30 appointments a week. Okay, now you can go to 30 appointments a week, starting off with booking 5 appointments a week within 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. Do you see how simple that is when you just break down the numbers? you're doing 5 appointments a week, your closed one, you got money coming in, then you double down, but then you got your ERSs that you're running. And then from ERSs, you're getting another 10 ERSs from one sale. All of a sudden, you're getting crazy busy now. Now you're at 30 appointments a week, right? And that should be a 30,000 leg, because you're finding, like, remember, is now out of all this activity, okay, here's the other stuff you're also selling, HMAs, okay? You're finding annuities, opportunities because you're doing the green sheet, and then you've partnered up with Gina Hawks to find those 1 or 2 or 3 opportunities that you can do an IUL on. You see how this multiplies here? HMAs, annuities, IULs, okay? Now let's say you run into a business owner out of, you know, your month or 2 of doing this, one business owner, that's Purple Monkey Garage, okay? And then through the green sheet, you're finding debt consolidation clients. And because you've been with us several months and you listen to Megan Wood, you're finding Med Advantage opportunities that combine with the Medico Hospital Indemnity Program, right? And this pays you that commission every year, every year. You do 2 of these a week, within, what, 2-3 years, you're gonna have $100,000 a year coming in just purely on renewals of Medicare Advantage and the Medico product, okay? All right, so from a builder standpoint, when you think about if you start your people right and you find the right ones that want to do this thing, it's easy to see how you can do get 25 appointments a week from one leg, 15 appointments a week from another leg, let's say 8 appointments a week from another leg, and 3 appointments a week from one leg. You see how simple it is, and your appointments per week counts for that leg. So let's say you're doing 15 and you find that, you know, someone else do 10. Okay, 10 appointments a week. Does this make any sense so far? I haven't even talked about money you'll be making. You'll be making, for sure, a 6-figure income at the AM 85% level, right? Not to mention, you know, all the renewals. You're going to, by the way, you're going to earn renewals on this. And you'll also earn renewals on your renewal overrides and all your people are bringing in. And when someone direct to you quits, all their renewals go direct to you. So all the renewals pass up to you should they quit. We don't want anyone to quit, but if they do, those renewals go to you. So not only are you making money bringing people on board our program that stay with us, you're also making money when they quit, if they quit, okay? Now people will quit, but you're gonna earn all their override renewals. You're gonna earn all the renewals go to you. Is that cool? So, I mean, you are creating your foundation of a tremendous future with us. I don't know why someone wouldn't want to do this program. Okay, am I making sense? Does anybody have any questions so far? Is this like beyond the concept of that you can grasp? And all you're doing is separating the leads. You're separating the leads. It's like cards, man. Separating the black and the red cards. Okay, black, red, black, red, red. That's how hard this is. Anyway. Okay, so this is a builder's call. So what are you doing? What are you doing to find people? Okay, one thing I can endorse, the biggest reason why we were number 2 recruiters last year in the Alliance is that we did the texting technique. We've been doing that texting technique. We have this program that does 500 a day. Andy talked about the one that does 100 a day. We have one that does 500 a day. And you know, we pay next to nothing for it. Okay, it's not free, but so what are you doing to find people? Are you meeting people along the way? That's the cheapest way to do it, is meeting people. The other cheap way to do it is your warm market list. Have you let me call your warm market list to people? You know, me and Jonah, to jump on your list and see if there's any interest there. All we're going to do is find out who wants to make money. And then do they want to make money the way we make money, right? Okay, so The other thing that we have is our ZipRecruiter program, $156 a month for 5 cities. We do have a bunch of new people that just got started with that. Now I don't have $156 a month. Okay, tell me when you made your last dial. How many dials did you make to book appointments? Okay, you know. Then we have free monster resumes. So if you want to get 50 free monster resumes every week, let Brenda know. It's amazing how many agents don't take advantage of that. And then what you do with those is you text them. Get on our text program, okay, and text them, and then manage it, right? I think ours, well, what ours costs. Anyway, there's a bunch of free ones out there too, where you can do automated texts. But that is the key. It's funny when Andy was talking about it, it's like, where did we learn it from? We learned it from Monster, Robbie Kraft. He said Monster has this new texting feature that works really good. And then, but we only were limited to like 100 a month, like some crazy number. And we found that it worked. I mean, this is Robbie Kraft from Monster 2 years ago, right? Like a year and a half ago. And so we picked up on the clue that it works. So we got onto our own texting program, and then we do 500 a day. And it's, this is why we're number 2. And I'm like, this new program is not new. Texting is not new. It's been around. People have been texting recruits for a long time, okay? So it's just funny, but, and it's like, am I hiding it? No, I mean, gosh, everyone should know how to do that. That's sort of like, I mean, catch up. We've been doing texting for a long time. Emails work only so much. Texting works a lot. Okay, so it's just weird, man. Riddle probably has been doing it. Anyway. So what are you doing to find people? Tell you what, you find 1 or 2 people, you get jacked up. It's going to force you to get better because you're going to want to get better for the new people you brought on. It creates production. It creates production. It does out of you. That's finding them. All right. So let Brenda know if you want to get involved in our free resume program. Let me know if you want to get on ZipRecruiter. It's too late now. We've maxed out our seats on Zips. You're going to have to wait till March, which is paid at the end of February. But we're seeing, like all those people I talked to on the recruiting video, we're all ZipRecruiter responders. I mean, I don't know how much easier we can make it for you to take advantage of the opportunity. We're trying to make it super easy for you, okay? I think a lot of times you make it too hard on yourself. You make this thing way harder than it needs to be. You just make it way harder. I don't know why that is. I mean, I do know why that is. Because you're new and you're afraid. Fear. Fear is what makes things harder, right? I love what, Damon West talked about, you either pray or you worry. There's no line in between. You can't just pray and worry. Pray and worry doesn't mean you're praying with faithfulness, right? Prayer with worry just negated the prayer. You just doubted God. You doubted God and his providence and his goodness and his mercy. That doubt just erased your prayer. So you can't worry and pray at the same time. Pray and don't worry. Prayer allows you not to have to worry anymore, right? So don't put an umbrella on the blessings he's trying to give you, and you're trying to send prayers up, but then you squash it and you shoot them down. It's like a bird. Your prayer goes up like a dove, and then you have a shotgun of fear, doubt, and worry, and you're blowing your prayers out of the sky. Click, click. That's what you're doing, man. So stop fearing, stop worrying, stop doubting, and start filtering. Filter with faith. Filter with faith. Anyway, God bless, man. You guys rock. Let me know if I can help. Let me know, man. Stay in touch with me. God bless. Take care. Thanks for being on the call.